Hello, and welcome to the Healthcare Compliance Training Program tutorial. In this video, you will discover why other practices have been using HCSI since 1984. Now, who am I? My name is Lance King, and I am fortunate to be on the team at HCSI, and I will be guiding you through this presentation. I hope that you'll find it both engaging and beneficial for your leadership and your compliance needs. Now, before opening the box and sharing all of our resources with you, let's just quickly review the why behind the decision to utilize our online compliance program. Why HCSI? Well, is it fair to say as an administrator, you wear a few hats of responsibility in your organization? Well, it may be fair to compare what you have to offer to a pitcher of water and what is required of you to 6 glasses of water. Now, while you may want to be able to give all your attention to each cup, experience has likely taught you this is not possible. By the time you arrive at the 4th cup, you've realized that it's not reasonable to commit to completely filling this 4th glass. And this is where we come in. We realize that even though you may want to give everything you can to every task, there will always be cups left empty. We are giving you permission to relax, okay? With HCSI, you can have peace of mind knowing that one of the most important duties is completely covered. In fact, you'll discover the cup will be overflowing. Now, what would you say your time is worth? You may argue that it's worth doing things to the best of your ability without guessing how much of your ability is required. Any questions? So here's what to expect with HCSI. And this is just a recap. I won't explain a whole lot, but we'll quickly go through the next couple of slides with the intent to briefly illustrate how we will help you become compliant and then some. We will then dig a little deeper into this while actually showing you the program, and I'll walk you step by step. So we provide training for new employees and the annual retraining with HIPAA privacy, HIPAA security, etc. We provide manuals. You'll find a reference guide, compliance plans, and certificates binder, and we'll go through that. Consultation and support. This is found through weekly and monthly updates, quarterly newsletters, and phone and email support. We provide guidance, direction to ensure you have audit satisfactory. Forms. You'll find training, forms retrieval, online reference guide, newsletters, guidance, and frequently asked questions in our membership website portal. Now, let's get into the program and begin closing the gap between what you're doing with your hats of responsibility and help you gain the peace of mind knowing that you have a compliance support structure for HIPAA, OSHA, Medicare, and human resources in HCSI. I will now attempt to effectively open the box, and I'm going to walk you through how to quickly set up the program and begin training your employees. So after purchasing your online program, you will receive an email for the administrator to use to log into the training portal. You'll also receive a package with 3 binders: the reference guide, compliance plans, and the certificates book. The reference guide will be a resource for questions that you may have regarding the federal laws addressed in your online training, and also contains copies of the forms and charts for each standard that I mentioned before. This book will also contain a general instructions letter, and that's going to help guide administrators through the training setup process. This document includes how to log in, training setup instructions, what to distribute to employees, and other information that will support setup. With Compliance Plans book, this binder is used for all the practice-specific policy and procedure information that will be printed upon completion of the general setup by the administrator, as well as the training module setup by the compliance officer. Additional information in this binder includes newsletters, administrative alert emails, and then any best practice information that could be sent from HCSI. And that's also emailed on the occasion. The certificates book will be used for all training certificates printed after each training module is completed. And those are the 3 binders that you can expect shortly after purchasing the program. Now on to the general and the module setup. The administrator has 3 things to consider with general setup. 1, you must follow the prompts. 2, remember to print the practice-specific information. And then 3, distribute the instructions and login information to your employees. Pretty simple. I will now walk you through this setup while you are online portal. Note that my screen is a company screen that is being used for the purposes of this tutorial, and thus contains links not available to your company. If the administrator were to click on the training link after setup, they would see this screen where both setup and the training links are found. You're seeing HIPAA privacy, HR, and OSHA. Of course, if we were to scroll down, you'd find Medicare. Now, general setup is a one-time process. Once the administrator has gone through the general setup, the link will not be available, nor will any link be available under the modules where the module setup has not been completed. That's very important. And once the general setup link has been clicked, the user will find an audio tutorial that will walk the administrator through the practice-specific setup. There are 7 slides that are to be read and to be filled out. The first slide will provide an introduction. When you click Next, you'll find information that will be required to be filled out for the administrator. And this is just an example. Then you'll click for doctor owner information, staff, the compliance officer information. And after you've selected the compliance officer information and have gone through all 7 slides, a congratulations screen will be displayed. The general setup information will then be printed upon exiting the setup tutorial. And this information will be integrated throughout the training modules. Now, even though the administrator is responsible to oversee the compliance information required for employees, policies, HIPAA security, and OSHA, they will only be given access to the employees and policy links unless they're also the compliance officer. Only the HIPAA compliance officer has access to the security link, and only the OSHA compliance officer has access to the OSHA link. So keep that in mind. Once designated by the administrator, the compliance officer has three main duties. They are, number one, to set up the module with HIPAA, OSHA, and Medicare. Number two, complete management training. And then number three, to complete employee training. I will now walk you through this setup process. The compliance officer will set up modules are all hyperlinked. All other training will be completely disabled until this setup is completed. And you'll be disabled when hovering over those hyperlinks. As with the general setup module, this is an audio tutorial. I will demonstrate what to expect with the HIPAA security module as the example. And with many of the module tutorials, what you'll find, again, with just like the general setup, you're going to find an introduction. But with these modules, you'll find an agreement. The compliance officer should select that they understand and will follow. They must understand that they are to fill out everything completely in order to be adequately compliant to the various regulatory standards and to ensure the practice has zero nonconformities. Now, provide a 360-degree overview for an auditor of what the organization is doing to remedy various risks. Within the risk assessment portfolio, the hardware and software analysis it also considers mobile devices. And the compliance officer is required to evaluate the various vulnerabilities for this, as well as the facility and the environment. Each has various links that will open a separate screen, as you're seeing, and then you'll then select a level of risk and the remedies applicable to the practice. This information provided in setup will be integrated to the training. Now, when the HIPAA compliance officer completes setup and prints the 3-page risk analysis, it does not go in the back of the HIPAA security section as Medicare would. Specifically, it becomes pages 3 and 5 of the HIPAA security plan in the audit manual. And there is the manual does leave a void for these pages. So you'll save and then print. Now, if changes need to be made, the administrator can change the employees and the policies section. And the compliance officer is the only person that can change the HIPAA security and OSHA profiles. Previously mentioned, the administrator can also be the compliance officer. When the setup and management training have been completed, it will be the employee's opportunity to complete modules. But I just want to show you what it would look like if you had to go into OSHA, for example. As the compliance officer, would be able to come in and click any of those links and edit the information as needed. Again, all of these links will be on the left of our online portal. And it is important to understand the division, the compliance officer, and the administrator. Now, each training is very similar to the setup with audio slides. These all have pictures and are integrated with all the information that was added in the setup process. The beginning of the training will have an introduction and will be very detailed about the standard to ensure comprehension. And then as with the module setup, the employee will click that they understand that the quiz that they're learning is their responsibility to answer the questions and to learn again at the best of their ability. We have quizzes that have a brain that indicate whether an answer is correct and a garbage can. And so that will be an integrated. Once employee completed the training, there will be a section where administrators will be able to look at the training. And again, if any information needs to be edited, it's edit that information as frequently as the trainings are integrated to that setup information. Once employees have completed their training modules, they'll be required to print and sign 2 copies of the certificate or the certification document. The admin will also be able to evaluate the progress of training completed upon clicking the employees link. And this area will also allow administrators, as mentioned, to update, but as well to add or delete employees in the organization. Now that I've walked you through the setup process, if you have questions about this tutorial, if you have compliance-related questions, if you want to learn about the referral program, you can contact us at 801-947-0183 or email us at support@hcsiinc.com. This has been a presentation by Healthcare Compliance Solutions. My name is Lance King, and we look forward to connecting again soon. I hope you make it a great day.